Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be everything you say can and will be used against you. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So there's a thing in the United States called the Miranda Rights. There are actually 4 of these, and one of them is an expression which goes such as this: anything you say can and will be used against you. Flipping it to the narcissistic abusive cycle and the narcissistic relationship that my hope is you have now exited from. Everything you say can and will be used against you. That's how the narcissist looks at you and your words, and virtually anybody. The narcissist twists words. They make up words. But what they do is, specifically when you met them in the beginning of the relationship, they listened to you and they put all of your words in a steel trap in their tiny little pea brain. It kept stored away, and they would whip these out later and throughout the relationship, and they would change some of the words you said. They would use some of the words you said out of context. They would make things up, which is what gaslighting is. They will do anything they possibly can, and they did do anything they possibly could to extract your energy and your resources from you when you were in the relationship with them. So again, going back to that Miranda right, anything you say can and will be used against you, and there's more to it than that. But with the narcissist, it's everything. And because the narcissist does not want you to be you. The narcissist wants to punish you for being you. The narcissist many times will kick you when you're down. They will attack you when you're vulnerable. They will twist words that you may or may not have ever said to them or to anybody. But the narcissist remembers exactly what you told them in the beginning of the relationship and throughout the relationship. The thing is, it's really important for them to pay exclusive attention to you in the love bomb / euphoric stage, because this is when they are getting close to you. This is when they're acting like they're falling in love with you, or they want to build a relationship with you. And what they're actually doing is they're studying you. They're doing their reconnaissance on you. They're learning about you. They're asking you baiting questions. They're asking you things like this one, famous one: do you get jealous? Are you the jealous type? Yes, I did hear that. And what do you think that means? Back then, when I heard that sentence, I was taken aback. Like, who would ask me if I'm a jealous kind of person? Nobody in the right mind would ask me that. But a person who was testing me to see if I would actually get jealous throughout the relationship. And you know what triangulation is by now, I'm sure. It's when the narcissist inserts another person or people into the relationship, and they act like that person is doing more for them than you were. That is exactly why the narcissist asks, are you the jealous type? Or do you get jealous often? Things like that, because they're planting seeds in your mind. And they ask you that because jealousy perhaps wasn't native to you. In other words, you perhaps didn't experience jealousy or much of it throughout your life. Why would you? You should be happy to be yourself. You should be proud to be a beautiful, bright, shining light, an empath, if you will, and to be the person that you are. But back then, when you were with the narcissist, they were peppering you with all of these subliminal and obscure questions, and they would come out of left field just when you were putting your guard down, or just when you were really getting into the relationship and you thought things were settling in. The narcissist again would throw you a curveball, and they would say something like that. And everything that you told the narcissist, everything from your past, your family, your upbringing, your childhood, the school you went to, which university you went to, the people you dated in the past, if you were married, if you had kids, where you have lived, your workplace relationships, your hobbies, your network, everything about that, the narcissist wanted to really learn about you. So they would slowly begin to remove you from all of those aforementioned things and people and anything that mattered to you, because the narcissist wanted you for themselves. They wanted to extract as much of your goodness, as much of your empathy and your wholesomeness and your abundance as they could. So when somebody asks you a really unusual question like, are you the jealous type? Do you get jealous? Really think about what that means. They're now telling you that in the past they have made other relationships or other partners jealous, and that they thrive when someone is jealous of them because it puts them high on the pedestal and it puts you in a position of weakness. Again, going back to triangulation, my least favorite thing that these people use against unsuspecting people. It's a very deep weapon to have somebody fall in love with somebody else, and the person that they fell in love with is a narcissist, and the narcissist cannot fall in love with you. So now you find yourself a mental, physical, emotional, financial, and physical prisoner of this person who you fell in love with. And what are they doing when they are in the relationship with you? Whether you were married or not, doesn't matter, but let's say it's a romantic relationship. They are watching your life fall apart. They are watching the words you are using. They are watching your confidence take a hit. They are weaponizing your words against you. They are slowly pulling away from you. They are spending less and less time with you. Any alleged quality time you had with the narcissist was thrown right out the window the minute you put a ring on their finger, or you moved in with them, or loaned them money, or paid their tuition, or they graduated med school, or you had a death in the family, or you got ill, or your finances went to zero. When these things happen, the narcissist is already looking for your replacement. And one of the ways they look for your replacement is to search on social media and your network of friends. Many times the new supply turns out to be somebody that you knew. Think about what I'm sharing. The narcissist takes anything they possibly can from you, and everything that you did say to them will be weaponized against you or used against you at a later date. That's just like that Miranda right that I read to you. The whole purpose of the Miranda rights was to protect people. That's the exact opposite of what the narcissist wants to do. They want to gather information to hammer people with it, to weaponize the words against them. That is why when you would be with the narcissist, if you would try to have an adult conversation, which you never got one of those, what you got was word salad, or them yawning, or them on their smartphone saying, are we done now? Or are you over yourself? Or why are we even having this conversation? I don't get it. What's the problem? Or I have to go somewhere. If you did sit them down for a period of time and you got to speak your mind, what were they doing then? I will tell you what they were doing. They were listening to your words. They were watching your expressions. They were feeling your emotions. And they were saying to themselves, wow, this person is really sad. They are really, really pathetic. All I have to do is sit here and look at them and act like I'm paying attention, or maybe throw a little word salad at them, and they're going to take it. And I can just toy with them throughout this whole alleged adult conversation. If it lasts 5 minutes or 2 hours, I can sit here and act like I am really caring when I don't. But what I am doing is listening to the words that the person was telling me, which was you, and it certainly was me, and I will weaponize those against this person at a later date. This is what happens. That's why when you tell the narcissist anything substantial, let's say that your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, what you want to do, what your goals are, the narcissist will do anything they can to make sure that they throw a monkey wrench in there so that those things don't happen, unless the one caveat is if they will benefit the narcissist down the road. So an example there would be, let's say you're working, you had a great job and you were making a lot of money, and you weren't so sure if you wanted to stay there at the job, and you talk to the narcissist and you would tell them, hey, I'm not sure if I want to stay here. I mean, I'm making great money, but it's not really for me. What would they do? They would say, wait, if you're not really, ooh, beautiful bird just flew by. Wow. They would say, well, if you're really not happy there, but you're making a lot of money, and this is what they're thinking, it's not what they will tell you, they would say to themselves, perfect. Then they would say this to you, I think you should stick around a little bit longer and continue to hang in there, do the best you can. Why are they doing that? Because they're getting the best of both worlds. You're in a job which you don't like, it's not fun, and they're getting your money, and they will get your money down the road too. Because if they know that that job was making you good money, believe me, they believe that your money is their money. That is the whole purpose of these narcissistic relationships. When you're in them, you don't know what you're up against because you didn't know that you were with a narcissist. You didn't even know what narcissism was. You just thought it was somebody who was looking at themselves in the mirror and thinking that they were the most handsome or pretty person on the planet. That is just one aspect of the narcissistic individual. The main aspect is that these people are toxic and they don't care about anybody but themselves. So when you were in that relationship, and let's say that you were existing in the narcissistic fog and you were being devalued day in and day out for weeks, months, years, maybe even decades, you didn't know what you were up against. So you, again, were working for the narcissist, working for the relationship, watching your health take a hit, watching your finances take a hit, watching the narcissist pull away, and just when you thought that you couldn't take anymore, they would get really close to you again and give you a mini love bomb or euphoric stage. Maybe it lasted for a couple hours or a couple days or a weekend, and then they would again disappear. This is what they do. They have multiple sources of supply, and supply, remember, it doesn't have to be a human being. It can be a pet, a job, a trip, a car, a watch, clothing. It can be an event. Supply can be anything. And that's why the narcissist can't sit still, because they're on a constant quest looking A, for your replacement, but B, supply. They want to see and encounter new shiny objects. The narcissist doesn't want to do anything more than once. Example, if they've already gone on a bike ride on one trail, they're not going to want to go on that trail again. They're going to want to go on a different trail because they get bored and jaded and they've already seen the scenery. This is how they live. They look for new things, new opportunities. They look for new people to manipulate. They look for new hearts to crush. They look for new people to have them fall in love with the narcissist. They look to see what these people provide. Again, all of their energy and their effort and their love and their money and their time. They look to divide wedges or drive wedges between people and their relationships, their immediate family members, their kids, their siblings, their neighbors, their coworkers. This is what the narcissist does. And everything that you would say to them, when you are saying words to them, I'm talking words of substance, not just like, hey, how's the weather today, things like that. I'm talking how you were feeling and your emotions and what you wanted to do. They would just put those in the back of their little mind and they would use them any which way they wanted to, whenever they felt that they could get something from you. Using the job example before. If you're in a job that you didn't like, but you were making good money, well, think about it. Is it worth the money you're making to not have a pleasurable experience at work? Probably not, depending on where you are in the life cycle. But the point is, the narcissist didn't want you having a good time, so they would want to keep you there. And then if you're making good money and you're not enjoying your job, that's perfect for them. They get the best of both worlds. Then what happens? When you come home, you open the front door, maybe you're not in a good mood one day, and then what does the narcissist do? They're like, oh my gosh, this is just so easy. This person, my spouse, they're not enjoying work. They're making great money. I don't have to lift a finger because I'm sitting at home shopping on Amazon 24/7 with their money, and now they're not in a good mood. So I'll just pepper them a little bit more and tell them they should try harder at work, and that, by the way, somebody picked me up for lunch today of the same sex as my spouse, and I had a great lunch triangulating. This is what they do. And the cycle just goes on and on and on. But when you're in it, you don't know what you're up against. What you do is you know that something's off. And the feeling of something being off, it's growing. It's getting bigger and bigger. That's why when you're in these relationships, there are many people, myself included, who have taken notes on the narcissist when you were in the relationship on your smartphone, or maybe physical notes, meaning in a journal or something, but you didn't know what you were up against. So you took notes and you would document the poor behavior or the strange behavior. And then later on, when you got discarded, or if you ended it yourself, then you're like, that was one of the most challenging relationships I've ever been a part of. And then you figure out what narcissism is. Then you're like, oh my God, I took notes. I took notes in whatever year it is, and you look for them and you find them. Then light bulbs are going off left, right, and center, because all the notes you took about the person you were in the relationship, or how you were being treated, or your experiences in the relationship, they all add up in a moment's notice like that, because now you have validation and you have proof, because you took notes when you were in the relationship. And now when you figured out what narcissism was, you went back to those notes, you compared it, and you're like, holy, I can't believe I figured this thing out. Well, of course you can't, because you weren't taught this in school and you weren't supposed to figure it out. But again, you're one of the wise ones. You're a smart one. You're one of the fortunate people who figured out that their spouse and or maybe family member or romantic interest or a neighbor or colleague or friend is the narcissist. You were never supposed to figure it out. What you were supposed to do was continue reporting back to the narcissist, continue to be an extension of them, continue to put your life on hold while you're lifting their life up. And you were never supposed to A, figure it out, B, put yourself back together, C, heal, D, they definitely didn't want you to do this. They did not want you to go no contact, to block them, to delete them, remove all flying monkeys and people associated with them. However, you know by now that is what you must do. Side note, pro tip, anything the narcissist wants you to do, it comes with a price to pay. There's a caveat. There's something in it for the narcissist. There will not be anything in it for you usually. This is why if the narcissist says black, you say white. If they say left, you say right, or vice versa, because the narcissist only cares about themselves, and they care about what they can take from you and how long you will stay in that game of a relationship with them before you figure it out or before they discard you. Not everybody figures it out. Not everybody gets the light bulb moments. Not everybody finds the needle in a haystack on the narcissistic abusive cycle, but you did. And that's a great thing. Now you need to slow your life down and process things and really understand that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. You are the priority. But going back to the thumbnail, everything you say can and will be used against you. That's what the narcissist thinks. That's what they're thinking right now with the new supply. That's what they're thinking right now if they're trying to hoover you. Let's say this. Let's say you didn't block the narcissist. Sorry, I have sunblock in my eye. Let's say you didn't block the narcissist and they're trying to hoover you. and let's say they're texting you or calling you. Well, right there, what are they doing? I can 100% assure you they're using your words against you from something from the past. Maybe it was from yesterday, maybe it was from a year ago, maybe it was from a decade ago, but this is what they're doing. They're trying to draw you back into the relationship, or they're trying to keep you stuck in the narcissistic fog, but they don't want you breaking free. That is an example of a Hoover when you do not block them. Now understand, everything I'm mentioning to you, there are so many different layers upon layers of the onion to peel back, but for this video, everything you say can and will be used against you. That is why with the narcissist, telling them nothing, getting off of their radar, becoming small, and insulating yourself is the best thing you could ever do, because communication with these people, it will not serve you. They shouldn't know about your hair color, who you're dating, where you're living, what money you're making, where you're going vacationing, what clothes you bought. They should know nothing about you. A, they don't deserve it. B, they're going to weaponize it against you. And C, they shouldn't know anything about you. That is why going no contact is the path. Understand the message, everyone. So again, like that Miranda Rights said, it's very similar, it's just flipped. Anything you say can and will be used against you. That's the Miranda right, and there's a little bit more to it. But everything you say can and will be used against you. That's how the narcissist looks at it. And as usual, what is up is down with the narcissist. What is usual for your average human being, it's the exact opposite for the narcissist. And that Miranda right is no different. Everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And yes, I had a little bit of sunblock in my eye because it is super warm here today, and I hope you all are doing extremely well. I love you guys. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys.